Happy birthday, Gazi Gang! It has been 1 year, officially, as of March 1st. It's been 1 year since the channel started. Isn't that exciting? Usually I don't stick with stuff this long. But, you know, what can you do? I have been having a lot of fun. It's been a thing, and there's been a lot of learning and stuff that I feel personally proud of, even though I wouldn't say it's the most impressive. But you know, I'm only 1 year old. What can you do? Oh, and I just ate a bunch of stuff, so if you hear me doing like painful hiccuping and stuff, that's why. That's what happened. I ate really hard and really fast. So anyway, let's take a look down memory lane of the YouTube channel. All right, here we are, YouTube. Let's take a look at our channel that we've cultivated over the last year. As of right now, the newest video I have out is this Avowed video. I have the second part coming out soonish. It's getting done. And of course, my very first video was our dive kick. A gameplay video was our dive kick video, which I am also doing a thing with. So you'll see it soon, or it's already on the channel, depending on when this gets done. Over the course of the years, I've amassed 22 subscribers. That went up since the last time I looked at it, so we got a new subscriber, hooray. And we've amassed 69 videos, 70 videos if you count this one, or whatever I put out before. Probably there's a Pokemon Presents at some point that I'm gonna have to look through, so more like 71, maybe, we'll see. And this is an average of, well, I need my calculator, because I don't really know. 365 divided by 71. That's a video about 1 in every 5 days, which is pretty good considering my initial plan was to do 1 out of every 7 days. There's been a few times in the past where I would miss some time. I think, it all just does it by months, it doesn't do it by dates. So somewhere in here there's some where I missed it by like 8 or 9 days instead of 7. But for the most part, we've been pretty good about uploading at least 1 to 2 times a week. So that's excellent. I do believe if we go in here, we can view the, yes. So for some reason, my Sunset Riders video is the biggest video I have at almost 300 views, which I guess isn't really that much, but when you consider that most of my views hit around the 20 to 30 mark, you know, not too bad. My NSO buffet also got a pretty good amount of views, as did some of my reactions, so we'll get into those later. And yeah, so I think my least performing views are unfortunately the Earthbound videos. Oh, there's a little cheat montage when it first came out. Don't worry about that one. But yeah, I think my least amount of views, yeah, it's Pokemon Stadium. Oh wow, people did not like Pokemon Stadium and Earthbound and some of that stuff. So unfortunately, not all my videos are doing very well, but at least somebody watches them. If nobody watches them, I'd be kind of disappointed, but every so often we get a video that does pretty good. So that's awesome. So yeah, so over the course of me doing stuff, I've added types of videos. Normally I started with, you know, normal gameplay videos of just random kinds, and it was pretty soon that I started my first series, which is Pokemon Stadium. I also have these ones with the blue backgrounds that aren't necessarily like gameplay videos. So I have the April Fool's tier list that I did. That was awesome. I have like my anniversary ones, the Nintendo Direct and Xbox reactions are all in the blue screen. And yeah, I started doing reactions at some point, and those seem to be pretty popular. This one's only 30. But this one's like 170. And that one's only 6, so it's hit or miss. You know how it is. And of course, series-wise, I added Metroid Fusion. I added a Link to the Past on here. I'm currently in the middle of doing Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Earthbound. I'm being a little bit slow about that, so sorry. If you're really into Earthbound, all 6 of you, sorry about that. But it's just because I'm kind of busy, and we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. I have plans for other kinds of videos, but I'm not gonna do those for a while, I don't think. And just because I'm so busy doing this other stuff, and we have the road to 100,000, which we're doing too, which I started with Call of Duty, and I have a few games in there. And yeah, once we finish up with Call of Duty and Earthbound, I can start doing more series road to 100,000s. Like, I've said this in the Modern Warfare game, in the Modern Warfare series, but I've never played Modern Warfare 3, so it's rife for getting achievements, so we'll see more of that when that happens, but that'll be a little bit. So yeah, speaking of taking forever, Earthbound here started 5 months ago, and I'm only, what, 9 parts in? Unfortunately, I have the problem of, I have ADHD, so it takes a while sometimes for me to get into the mood of editing. And also, I get distracted with other projects, too. Like, you know, I finished up A Link to the Past, right here. But slightly before that, I started Earthbound, so I was only doing Earthbound stuff for a while. And then I didn't for a while, it looks like. But in the middle of me doing Earthbound stuff, I started other series, like Modern Warfare. So now I have the problem where I'm doing 2 series, and both of them are taking too long because I'm alternating between them and the Road to 100,000 things, which are also taking up my time. And now there's all these, there's a Pokemon Presents in like tomorrow, I think, that I also have to do, and this anniversary thing, and it's just taking forever because I am not very good at sticking to one thing. Sorry about that, whoops. When I finish one of these series, I'm going to try and make more of an effort to stick to one series at a time, like I did before when I was just doing, well, I guess that's a lie too, because I was doing Pokemon Stadium and Metroid at the same time. Whoops, you know, I guess I've never been good at it. The other thing I wanted to talk about is thumbnails. So I've had the problem recently where, especially like, for example, Avowed. Avowed is a brand new game that just came out. So art assets for Avowed are kind of limited. Making this style of thumbnail for a game that does not have a lot of assets or a lot of easy assets is more annoying than I thought it was going to be. Nightmare Cart, for example, just came out at that time and didn't have a lot of assets. This thing I had to cut out from a background, and it looks a little janky. Honestly, it's pretty good. I'm pretty good at it, but it was a lot of work to find the right thing and to specifically cut it out. It was a whole thing. And if you look at a lot of other creators, like let's look at AlphaRad, for example, a good chunk of his, I mean, he's got people to make art for him, so some of his stuff is, you know, assets and stuff like that. But he's also got a lot of thumbnails that are just the game, just snippets of the game. Like this is just an edited screen grab from Paper Mario. You know, this is just an edited screen grab from Mario Party. Also, yeah, you know, it's easier to make that kind of stuff when you don't have to find a transparent thing to specifically put in the specific way, or you have to cut it out manually by hand, which can be very annoying. So I think I'm going to change how I do my thumbnails, but I'm not going to do it for a while because of another reason. I have not gotten a lot of assets done for this channel. I wanted to get a whole bunch of stuff for GAZIGUY and for like backgrounds and animations and stuff like that. You know, I've talked about a VTuber model before, and I'm just perpetually broke. I mean, I'm not like broke, but I'm broke enough that getting stuff like that done is really not easy. And I've been kind of waiting to change my thumbnails until I can get stuff like that. For example, if we go to SaberSpark, SaberSpark's a great example of what I'm looking at. SaberSpark is just kind of just cutouts of the thing, but then he's got his face on the side there, you know? And I would love to have just like a set of assets where I'm the Gazi guy, me, is in the corner like reacting to whatever's going on in the thumbnail, and it won't have to it could just be screen grabs or like edited stuff like that, and it would be a lot easier to make and probably more dynamic too, is the thing. I think it would just be more interesting, because if you just look at this, a lot of the stuff is just, it's a bit samey, to be very honest. I mean, you can see when I have like specials, which is a good idea. You can see when I have like reactions and updates and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's pretty samey. Pretty boring. So I want to do something about that. And I just need a lot of assets done to do that. So anyway, now on to more positive stuff. I just wanted to thank people for helping me do this. I do a lot of this stuff alone, but even how much of this stuff that I do by myself, I still wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for other people. Obviously, there's all the people that watch my videos, all those people, all of my 22 subscribers, all the 250 people that watched my Sunset Riders video, for example. All those people, thank you guys. I like sharing this kind of stuff with people, and I'm not the most popular YouTuber ever made, but it's nice to know that somebody's watching it. And I get comments. Some of them aren't necessarily the most positive, but that's fine. Engagements, you know how it is. I would really like to thank my dad for a lot, because 2 years in a row now, he's really helped me by buying stuff. He bought me the capture card that I used for things like capturing my Switch, for example. All the Pokemon Stadium stuff here, all that stuff was done on my capture card that my dad bought. Very handy, very handy. He got me this little portable screen that I have, which has been it's more of a recent purchase, but it's been very helpful with babysitting my stuff. Like right now, I'm recording all the stuff on my channel, but on the side, I have my short little script for this video. Very handy. And yeah, I wouldn't have that if he didn't buy that for me. He got me, there's this external USB thing, because I was running out of USB space on my computer with all these doodads that I have now. He got me that. I'm sure he got me a few other things that I can't think of immediately, but he's been really helpful. Absolute super shout out to my dad. You wouldn't see a lot of these videos if it wasn't for him. The other big thing specifically is my friends. I have got a few friends in a few other places, and obviously they all subscribe. Well, not all of them. Most of them subscribe to my stuff, which, you know, of course bumps up my things, makes me a little more popular. That's very good. But also, they're really good about seeing some of my stuff and being like, hey, maybe you should do it like this, and here's this program that you might like for various things. And, you know, sometimes I'll show them like a thumbnail and they'll be like, it's kind of like, and then I change it and like, well, what about this? And like, oh, you know, market research kind of stuff. Very helpful. I don't have any videos out yet, but some of my friends are in some of my future videos. I have one of Marvel Rivals with my absolute best friend Graydon coming out at some point whenever I stop being lazy, which you'll see. And so, yeah, my friends have been a big help for all of this kind of stuff too. Because, yeah, if I don't have people to like bounce off of in that regard, I don't know if I'm making anything decent. I don't know if my taste is any good. So, yeah, special thanks to all of them and all of you guys. Thank you very much. So what's in the future for this channel? Well, first of all, I'm not gonna make these videos every 3 months anymore. I mean, when I was new and I was quickly discovering things, it made sense because every 3 months was like a major kind of difference. But ever since like my last video to this video, for the most part, it hasn't been any different. So there's not much of a reason to do that. Does that make sense? I should probably just stick to one a year. It also gets rid of a few videos that might make me too busy to do other videos, and the other videos are the important bits. So we gotta do those. Sometime soon, I should be getting a new computer, and the implications of that should be that I can do cooler editing things, because right now doing anything slightly different than kind of normal editing things, my computer just doesn't like. It makes DaVinci Resolve super shitty, so it's really, oh my god, I hate doing it. I'm doing stuff on the Avowed video right now that is just, I'm just like, just run it normal so I can see what it looks like. Please, stop freezing. It's a whole thing. But, and beyond that, I can play cooler, newer games too. I've had Sony Spider-Man forever at this point. Like, since it dropped, I sold a strange Huntsman from TF2 for like 70 bucks and bought Spider-Man with it, and then I couldn't play it because this computer can't run that thing. It just can't run it. So I'm excited to try it at some point, and a new computer will help with that. Ideally too, I'll have virtual machine capabilities so I can play older games too. This thing can't run a virtual machine, so there's a lot of cool stuff that I would like to play that are like, I just can't play it because this thing can't deal with it. It's too new, but also too shit. So, you know. The other thing is, hopefully I can get some more art assets. Like I said, I want to do things with the thumbnails to make them better and more interesting to look at. I should also probably look at better titles, because sometimes they're just like, you know, like this one right here, that's just the name of the level that I'm at. It's not very interesting. This one's even worse. It's just like, I just looked at Marvel Rivals for like 2 seconds. Go watch my video. Whatever. I gotta get better at that. But yeah, all that stuff costs a lot of money. So the other thing I'm gonna try and do is get like a new job, but so I can have more money. But that's gonna affect how much I upload. Probably, unless I spend my off time doing, you know, but then I'd sacrifice doing other things. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But I do need more money. I would ideally like to be in my own space at some point. I don't like living with my mom and her boyfriend very much because I'm just in the living room. I can't do anything at any time that I want. I can't do it as loud as I want. So it's really annoying. I could probably stream if I was in my own house, but baby steps, baby steps. I would probably use it for art assets, like I said. Maybe get a VTuber at some point. Make my videos just a little bit more interesting, a little bit more dynamic. Make my thumbnails a little bit more interesting to look at than they are. But that would come at the cost of editing times, and probably make my videos take longer. So, you know, give and take. But yeah, that's 1 year of the GAZIGUY. Thank you for watching my videos. For the most part, it's not too many views, but it's more views than I expected, and more subscribers than I suspected. And if things continue to get better, and I just keep pushing myself out, maybe I'll get a lot bigger. You know, I'll be the next Alpha Rad. But yeah, it's nice to just kind of take a step back and look at all the stuff that I've gotten done, all the things I've learned, learning GIMP, learning DaVinci Resolve, learning OBS, you know, constantly expanding all the things that I can do. I could only play certain things on my computer at first, and then I could play, you know, that my dad got me my my thing, so then I could play like Switch and Xbox and stuff like that. And soon I'll get a new computer so I can play newer games and older games. But we'll see what happens. So I'll probably do another video like this in a year around March 1st. I hope I get this out by March 1st, but it probably isn't going to happen because I have too many other videos to do at the moment. But hopefully this will be around March 1st, and I will see you next year. Adios, Gazi Gang, and have fun with the videos.